So I know.
And here we are. It is, you know, back again in Volunteer Action Harrow, in Volunteer Action Harrow Cooperative,
Yes.
rebranded. We've got Sam and Rachel and Jit in the office. Nobody with us remotely at the moment. Let's put it on the screen share and get that way. Yes, let's go through the agenda thing. So I have, I think I'm gonna hopefully going forward just stay at home on Thursdays. It's been so much more productive this morning rather than going into the office. Anyway, that's allowed me to do well. So we met last week online, and then there was a lot of things for you to do, and the internet failed for the afternoon in the office. But I did manage to do quite a few of them on Friday.
It's always reassuring every time you tell us about something going wrong IT-wise.
Yeah, it's like it happens to all of us, absolutely. But I
such a bigger selection of tea now.
Well, it's excellent. Yes, I look forward to sampling it over the coming weeks. It's yeah. So I can't guarantee that I'll be here every Thursday, but I'm certainly enjoying it so much today that I'm tempted to try and make it a regular feature. We'll see. But so just going through the outstanding action items from last time. Yeah, so I have it. My big one for me was to go through all the pivotal tracker issues, which I have, and we'll come to those in the course of the meeting. So I sent you another follow-up email on the Reading voluntary action.
Yes, I have done it.
Oh, okay.
So
you did chat. Yeah, right. Yes. I mean, and of course, it's funny how these things get lost in the midst of time. You know, whether there is any way that we can collaborate, I've no idea. I think it was Alex who originally suggested that it might be interesting to talk about. Yeah, great. Okay, so yes. So I think we have all of the different icons and logos and things from. This is gonna. Why don't we have an assets in it? Yeah, I think all of the new assets are in the system, but they haven't necessarily. They're in various stages of being deployed through the pipeline, so they're not necessarily showing up yet. But we do at least have those in the repository. So then there's the Fab icon, which I've got from Alex, which I have working locally, but again, not working remotely. There's the outstanding one is now, yeah. So it's, you know, there's that sort of pipeline going from the things that gradually get into this and they will ultimately get there. And we've got the time bank thing.
So you're actually accepted as a member. Have you started getting their emails?
Yeah, that was the funny thing, is that they kind of said like come in for an interview, and I thought, well, basically I'm not really in a position to do that. Yeah. And then there was like, you've been accepted, and then I'm not sure. I have not really followed.
Was in the list that went around to everybody. Come on, you members.
I'm not really sure what's going on there. So I mean, or what the action item is for me there. I mean, I think if you want to reach out to them to talk about collaboration, then
yeah. I think their system. I think because you have to become a member, and
right.
Whereas ours is more about it being public, isn't it? So I don't. Really
I don't know. Yes, yeah. Yes. I mean, interestingly, the thing. So yesterday we had this charity jamboree, and I forwarded you the video of that event. And Helen, who you saw the emails from, she has proposed, or I think already runs, a kind of an organisation in Surrey, which is about trying to make it easy for people to help elderly people volunteer. You know, like. Help them take meals and or help them if the weather is bad or this, that, and the other. Yes, quite a lot of our students make us seem quite excited about that as a possible project.
I saw the thing she emailed through. I thought that was you.
Right. Yes, I'm not. I mean, she. Cause I showed Harrow Community Network at the event yesterday, and so she saw that. She was like, "Oh, we're talking to this, that, to Harrow Council about this, that, and the other." And I'm now looking for. I'm confused. Is anything in there? Okay, there's more emails from Helen. There we go. Okay, she's right. She might join us in a minute. We'll see. But you were saying that she sent us a link to.
Yeah, I presume it's probably whatever she showed yesterday.
Quite possibly. It's like Horsell. Okay, right. So I think. Well, there's.
Yeah.
Although this is, I think, something different. Like, so she has her own startup, which is this. Okay. Yeah. But then she also has this charity, which is this Horsell Snow Angels, which is sort of a separate thing. But so yes, the idea is that this is sort of a private discussion groups for
Specialist interest.
Yes, and then she was saying, "Oh yes, could we integrate that with Power Community Network so that the individual organisations could have private discussions?" So, idea, and I guess on the off chance, yes. So she's looking for a quiet space. We'll see. I've got the sound on, so hopefully if she pops in. But so anyway, I mean, I guess should we leave that as an open that you will contact time out, or it's not really worth pursuing?
I don't think it's that relevant at the moment.
No, we'll just sort of put like postponed or something. No, just put no. It's fine. Okay, so one thing I sent you all of the organisations that didn't.
That we want to. Do you want to share this with your friends? And then something else.
Helen, how are you doing?
That says, do you want to change your preferences?
Yeah. Helen, you seem to be able to hear something odd in the background. I'm just going to mute you for the moment.
In the calendar.
Until you are able to get into the environment.
Or override any other rules.
Yeah.
Rachel speaking.
So I don't know if you can hear us, Helen. I've just muted you because of the background noise that you had that sounded like somebody giving a lecture.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're in.
No.
Are you playing some video on your system or something? You may have a sort of a YouTube running in the background, but we can't hear you at the moment. I'll just take you off mute if I can. So I can mute people, sometimes I can't unmute them. So you're currently muted. You would. Oh, there we go. Yes, you've got muted.
Yeah. So that's why basically what I need to be able to do in the existing.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can. There's also sort of a lecture going on in the background.
That's my colleague. That's my colleague, I think. So that could be a problem. I thought the headphones would sort of rule him out, but you can still hear him. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we can still hear him quite a lot. It would be difficult, I think, to have a discussion.
Okay. Okay. Right. I don't really have a solution to that, really.
Oh well, maybe you just listen in the first instance. I'm going to mute you so that we don't get his.
Sure.
And if you just want to listen,
yeah.
And you know how things go. And yeah, if you can get into a different space, then you could sort of use the microphone. But anyway, hopefully you can see the screen. I'm going to move your. There's a text chat. I'll put a hello in the text chat, so you can maybe find that if you want, and also try and check that occasionally. And we'll come back to you. We're just reviewing. We've just been. We started the meeting about 10 minutes ago. We've just been reviewing some of the outstanding action items, things that have been done, and we're just starting into the main agenda. And I was checking into Rachel and Jit are here, and so Jit's working on updating the Harrow Community Network. This is got the live one somewhere. With trying to make sure that all of the organisations have emails and all their contact details are up to date and so on. So we've got a number of organisations that don't have email addresses, and yeah, I kind of went into the system and did a dump of that. And was the format okay for that? No, what format would you like it?
I would have just liked an ID and a name.
Right.
But what I've done, I've put that just.
Yes, I mean I could dump in a different format, but you've managed. I was sort of right. I'll just get you something, and okay.
The other thing is we thought some of the information was out of date.
Yeah, I don't know where you got the information from.
In what sense?
Because some of
I'm sure there's lots of it. We originally dumped from the charity register in 2013.
You would have got it from the live system.
What happens is JIT has been working through, so some of the ones that are on
Yeah.
there had been updated in the last couple of weeks by JIT.
Well, not just last couple of weeks, even just 2-3 hours before we asked Sam to give us the.
Right.
And so some of the
they've
stuff
come up again as not having.
Okay. Well, it's conceivable that I've gone to the wrong database and pulled the things. That's not impossible. Certainly not possible. Well, so
That's fine. So
yeah. I mean, I'll come back to. I can come back. That will create an action item for me there, which is.
I don't think it's a problem in that.
Well,
there shouldn't be information that we need because it's duplicated, isn't it? Some of the information. But I don't think there's any action needed from you.
Yes, I mean, I guess it's sort of I think I just want to, in my own mind, make sure that I'm talking to the right databases, and also, I mean, you were saying that just the ID and the name is all that you would need, rather than the full dump, which is relatively easy to do. Just ID and name, and we can even look at that again at the end of the meeting. Okay, so anyway, at least there was some transmission of information,
Yes,
imprecise as it were. Yes. So that we've already talked about the Reading VA follow-up. Any further
So what I've
from
done,
the BCS forum?
I have taken the sort of the list of potentials that we can do,
Which we saw
that in
last week,
theory,
yeah.
We can do any. I said, you know, the risks, obviously, you know, timing and without any funding, that it, you know, we can't guarantee anything.
Indeed.
So I've just gone back to them and said that this is what could be done. It's up to you to make a decision if it's something you want to consider.
Yes.
So
yes.
I only sent that this week, and this week half terms. I know some people aren't around, so I'll just wait and
we'll wait and see. Yes, yes. So just for Helen, I'm assuming that you can hear. So the VCS forum is a kind of umbrella group of different voluntary groups in
Harrow. It's not really an umbrella group. It's more of a meeting that people can join from different charities and share information.
Right. Yes.
Talk about different what's going on.
I get confused with a forum. I tend to think of it as a web forum online. But this is like a real forum where people actually like a Roman forum where people come together around a big table, which I attended once.
And complain about the council.
Indeed, that's clearly the objective. Yes, and so I think it interestingly relates to what Helen is working on, or is that for that, the key thing seemed to be basically maintaining the mailing list and maintaining the ability for that group, not necessarily have a discussion, but just keeping contact with each other, is something that's currently managed. Is it currently managed by like an ad hoc?
We do it, so we manage it through. We've got a big mailing list that we mail the charity.
And that's in MailChimp or something?
Yeah, it's in MailChimp.
Okay.
I think it was more around using it as almost an online profile for those groups, so that their members. At the moment, the forum is a bit informal, but they want to make a formal membership process.
Right, right. Yes, I mean, you're talking about the idea that when people were signing up for Harrow Community Network, they might say, oh yes, I'm interested in being a member of the forum, and they might find out more information about it, and then you could kind of have a view in Harrow Community Network where you'd see, these are the people who are, and you could kind of like people who'd been accepted for membership could see who was there. But yes, so we'll see what they say. So that kind of brings us on to the usual review. So I have been through the Pivotal Tracker. I'm sort of checking with people where their features haven't been worked on in a while for doing restarts. But we do now have on the production system, and I've just checked it this morning, the ability to propose those edits. Although I'm aware that it's still some steps away from where you would like it to be in terms of having full access to all the different bits and pieces. So now if you go to the live site, you'll see we've got the all proposed edits field, and I've got, so now I'm logged in here as just my individual organization account. So if we're going through here and we see, I wonder if we can find something that's often I think the way the capitalization ended up taking place, maybe it's all been fixed now. I don't know if there's anything we can find to fix.
Probably further down, because the upper ones might be.
Let's go back down here. Probably not. Yes, maybe not so much. Anyway, the easier thing to do is just to go to. Let's have a look here. And so we've got, so this is the live site, so we probably want to have an edit that makes sense. It could just be adding it. You see anything that might need correcting?
Well, the one, if you go back to the one you had before, and again,
this one?
Yeah, if you go, how do you do it? So propose an edit.
So propose an edit.
And then, this annoys me.
Okay, you want to get okay. There we go. Right. Yes. So and you can propose that, and I guess because this person has made this public, then the phone number is editable. So we can propose the edit. So that comes to here, and that's a propose edit screen. And then as an admin, you can come in and there's this, and you can view the details, and you could reject the edit, or you can accept the edit. Okay. So if we accept the edit, then now that is updated. So that's there on production. And if you're, I mean, there are a couple of things I've noticed about it. One is that I think after we have updated the edit, this comes back in, and the proposed edit is still sort of there, but you don't see what the previous change was. Although that, I think the state that it was in is stored in the database. I think that's a sort of a slight flaw in you know, if you were referring back to archived edits. So anyway, I flagged that for Michael to look at, but I think that's probably not a reason not to accept the overall thing, as long as you're kind of happy with that. And we could also, I guess, we could also try proposing. Oops, I've come. No, that's no, nothing. We could just try coming in here and proposing an edit that we reject. So say that we just have somebody was defacing our lovely system, and we would go to the admin, all proposed edits, and view the details of there. We would want to reject that edit. It's interesting that says it's got the red one there and the green one on that side. But that's, I guess that's associated with. Did you say that?
It's going to ignore it. It's quite annoying. Sometimes phone calls aren't quick.
Here we go.
Your call cannot be taken at the moment, so please leave your message.
So if it's rejected, so if we reject the edits, it doesn't come in, and I guess in the state of having rejected the edit, it's right. Yeah, so it sort of works in the reject edit. Yeah, so the reject edit works in the, I guess the view on this is now like an archived edit. You can see what it would have been, and then it would have been, you know, so you've got sort of a log there. So I think there's some minor issues there, but yeah, shall we go ahead and accept that one? Great. So this is, you know, Vincent John's, that is exposing more categories. He's obviously been very busy, hasn't had a chance to work on it. I'll see with him if we're going to restart it. So this SEO optimization thing here, we have got our meta tags in the page, but we still don't have kind of a nice subpage layout. Now, I mean, I'm not sure whether, I mean, the meta tags are now there. I mean, Harrow Community Network does appear when one searches for Harrow Community Network and so on. So I wonder if it's, you know, accept this, but this really what we want is the subpages appearing in the results. And unfortunately, the sitemap thing that we've done doesn't seem to have improved the situation at all. And I'm now kind of going for the like I've been talking to the people they've got it working for our Agile Ventures thing, and going to go with some different approaches. There's a suggestion that if we set up Google Analytics correctly, that will help that. Remember from last week you were saying you'd like to have Google Analytics. So I think we'll just get that in there. But maybe we'll close out. I don't know if you've got any other mechanism for measuring, you know, how well this, from your point of view, like, is it optimized effectively or not? Or maybe we should leave that open until we get the tags in.
I don't know. A lot of that went over my head, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, let's. I guess I'll leave them open because that's something I think we should be looking into. I mean, I think it's the kind of thing that Alex would be more interested in. But yeah. So I'm going to keep working on those subpages. So then. Marion and Michael have continued working on this adding a user who can propose edits to non-public fields. We have pulled a series of changes onto the develop server, but I don't think they add any new functionality. They're just sort of renaming the different kinds of the admins, so that we have, as we discussed last week, these different kinds of admins. And I think that's in preparation for, they've got other pull requests in the works that are going to add the additional functionality that we need. But so, yeah, that's, I don't know that there's so much to see there. I did just try and push, I've got the fav icon working locally, I did just try and push it to develop, and it isn't showing up for some reason. Yeah, so, yeah, not really, I mean, there's been a lot of coding going on, but not much in the way of delivering of new features at the moment. Things that I think Jit would be interested in, like maintaining the position in the directory listing when navigating the individual charities. But, yeah, that's about the state of things. The ladybugs. That's a bug. Yes. That's really like little bugs we can. So that's the state of play. In the usual review. Yes. I mean, we haven't. I mean, if there's been a bottleneck recently, it continues to be me. I am with Makers about to have access to group more well. There's a plan to get more students involved that I'm hoping will, you know, increase the rate at which features can be knocked off. But we'll see. I've got a big meeting next Wednesday with people to try and get them started on that. Is there anything else that we should be looking at right now? I mean, we've got the me sitting down with Jit and going through the whole development procedure and so on, and checking the.
Last week, remember we saw two of the same organisations. I don't know if there's a bundling system that allows you to enter duplicate.
I don't think there's any constraints.
Yeah.
There's no constraints.
I know.
So you can just enter as many as you need.
It's just this agile development. You don't add constraints unless they're requested, unless they're
So I mean, I don't know. Duplicates should be allowed.
Well, I guess it'd be useful to know if someone's
trying to add a new. But
I think that was an error because we've added it at the back end. Somehow, I think somehow it's happened.
Well,
rather than somebody new. I think if a group added their information in, what I'd probably do is check to see, maybe manually.
I mean, at the moment, only the site admins can add new.
Right.
They can add new things, so it's not that. So it's yeah. I mean, and the sort of the agile flow is, in order to get something working quickly, is rather than adding constraints up front in anticipation of problems, it's that we fix them as they come up as issues. So I think it hasn't been a large issue so far, but to the extent that it becomes an important constraint, then we.
It's just that I mean, one of the things I've always seen is when we see the data displayed, it's displayed last updated format. And in this particular case, obviously, if say one of the two versions of the organization was updated and the other one just left unupdated,
right?
There'll be a big distance between the two.
There certainly would.
You'll never notice.
But I think if somebody, because we've got a form that somebody can fill to add their data. So if I receive that, I would probably do like a search on there to see if their organisation's already in there, and only put them on.
Yes. That should be the first step.
So I guess it could be a problem, but I don't see it as.
But in terms of development, I would have thought it's a very, very minor change. I would have thought.
Well, I mean, I think it's not necessarily, but there are hundreds of minor changes that we could be making to be improving the system. So
I mean, in the sense that you just check that the name exists. If it exists, you don't allow it in the system.
Indeed.
That's what I think.
Absolutely. Well, maybe that's then a feature that we could write a video and you could work on that.
Well, yes.
Yes. But again, what we would, particularly in the agile thing, is that what we would say is it's important not to anticipate what the customer needs. And so I think it's if we find, I mean, the thing I think I would like to do in the first instance is check, do we actually have any duplicates, which we can easily do on the back end. And if we did have any duplicates, we could look at where did they come into the system and then look at the flow. I mean, what we don't have at the moment is we don't really have a process that's part of the system. We have like an external form, and so that allows us to, and then it's sort of done manually. So it's sort of out of scope. One of the features that we've got is bringing that into scope, and so maybe that's even, if we start looking at that, if Rachel's doing that manual step and we think that's laborious, then we can automate that part of it. But,
the other area where it might come up is at one point, I'm sure it's in our big list of tasks, was instead of having the organisation having an ID number in the URL, we talked about having
the name. Sure, yes.
So obviously that would be an issue. But again, at the moment, that's not really a priority for changing. The other issue, which would be harder to pick up on, is some of the organisations have gone in with their acronyms. So we could have a situation where an organisation is in there with an acronym. And some of the ones that you found hard to find on the Charity Commission website was because it was just their acronym.
Right.
And somebody could enter them in as a new organisation but use their full name. Or it can even be versions, because I remember we were trying to find St Albans nursery and I couldn't find it. It's because it's St Albans. So there could, I mean, that's more likely to happen with a duplicate, isn't it? Where you've got two slightly different versions of the name. But Voluntary Action Harrow could be in there, and somebody else could add in Voluntary Action Harrow Co-op.
And you wouldn't necessarily notice them.
Pick it up. So, I mean, I think that there's things potentially that, but I don't know if I see any of them as a priority over what we've got. Listed.
Yes, well, I've got notes on those.
And also, even with the URLs, because some of the charities' names are so long.
Yeah, well, you need some mechanism for, shortening, putting a maximum length on the name. Yes. Well, if there isn't any other sort of general business, I might just check in with Helen and see how her environment. Hello, Helen. I don't know if you've been following.
I'll catch you later. All right. Take care now.
Hello.
Bye.
Yeah. So.
Oh,
Click through the rest of your room crystal clear. So if you had any questions, you want to go
I just couldn't hear what you're saying just now, I guess, but are you still getting background noise from my end?
We can hear the noise from your colleague.
My colleague.
So it's very difficult to understand what you're saying.
I'm really confused by that because I can't hear him very well from where I am. So
well, I think that's the miracle of Apple's microphone.
Yeah, clearly.
Maybe you want to. I mean, text me, or you're not in a position to move to a different room.
Sorry, Sam, I can't hear you. It's just breaking up all the time. Is there any value in me actually just calling you on the phone?
Well, I think
crazy.
You could do, and we could put you on speakerphone. Yeah. What's the number here?
We're now on 10. It's 12. So it's massively doubled.
I can't hear it, sorry.
No, just put it into the chat.
Ah, brilliant. Okay, 808.
There we go. So I've muted you, Helen. I mean, you're saying that you can't hear us very well anyway, but if you call that number on your phone, then we could potentially put you on speakerphone. But anyway, I guess we'll leave that running maybe and see if Helen calls. But anyway, you've got your development laptop here. Yes, and so have you managed to sort of, I mean, I know that you did an experimental pull request.
I did something, but obviously I don't think it was,
yeah,
right.
There we go.
Hello. Hi, Helen. I'm going to put you on speakerphone.
Hey, hello, Helen. You all right?
Hi. Am I off the screen now and have to get kicked out of Google Hangout?
No, we can still see you. We can see you on the screen.
Okay.
And we were able to hear you when you were speaking, but just whatever your colleagues are doing in the room, we were able to hear that absolutely crystal clear.
Really strange. I haven't actually done that from the office before. But we've got an incredibly open plan office.
Right.
This is the problem with open plan.
Yes, interesting. I mean, I guess now that you're talking on that phone there, yeah, we can't hear any background noise from the office.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. But I wonder. I mean, I noticed that you were on what looked like Apple iPhone headphones. Presumably, they were plugged into your computer, were they?
Yeah, they are plugged in. Yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Anyway, I don't know if anything that we were talking about made sense. I kind of introduced you know, the Harrow Community Network to you yesterday in the meeting, and you expressed an interest, and here we are.
Yes. Well, it perks me up because I have been speaking to somebody at Harrow, at London Borough of Harrow, at the council, about an app that they're interested in building. And he was extremely interested in what we were doing in terms of building discussion group come mailing lists for community groups.
Right.
And that's really the whole idea of the app that we're building. It's really to allow groups to communicate better and discuss with each other.
Right.
And also combining that with a mailing list.
Right.
Without revealing personal details or personal profiles or email addresses of any of the participants.
Right.
So it's really a better alternative to Facebook groups, for instance, where I think you know, although lots of people are members of Facebook, if you join a Facebook group, even a private one, you're really giving away quite a lot about yourself to the other members of that group. And as I've run a voluntary group myself, which I was talking about yesterday.
Yes.
And we found that in order to be as inclusive as possible of all the people that wanted to volunteer, we needed to respect their privacy much, much more than than I guess other organisations might do.
Sure.
So we've been building this app for discussion, basically, and I love to know if there's any possibility of working with you to sort of create that discussion piece. I mean, it's been quite a long build for us, but we've got to the stage where we've got a web app, plus an Android app and an iOS app,
right,
as well. So we're fully mobile, as well as desktop and web-based, and it has, it's not a trivial thing to make discussion work really well. So I think we've come quite a long way.
Yes.
And we're really looking for people who want to try it out and test drive it.
And what's the technology stack on the server side?
This is where I'm not the right person to talk to.
Okay.
But we've my colleague who's technical has just walked in the door actually, and he'd like to be able to tell you. We've basically built a web-based platform, and then the iOS and Android apps are kind of so then we built our own private API to feed the apps.
Sure. Oh yes. No, that will make sense. I'm very familiar with that kind of architecture. Yes.
Yeah.
I'd just be. I mean, it's not that it's not on video here. Not that it makes so much difference. Either way, I was just interested in whether it was a Rails stack or a Django stack or a Node stack or what kind of technology it was on the back end.
I might have to get back to you on that.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fine. Yes. Yes. I mean, I don't know if Rachel, if that. I mean, the interesting thing with the forum is that we're talking about people, being able to sort of keep in touch and have discussions and so on. One of the, as when I came and presented to the forum previously, there is a concern there about maintaining privacy, isn't there? And not sharing.
Was from one.
At least from one. Yeah. But I don't know what your. Would you be? You might. I mean, you've seen the little PDF thing that Helen. Does it sound like her app is something that might be of interest to the forum?
Potentially. I don't know about the forum in that people attend. I don't know how high tech they are. I can see it working with some groups and not others. Depends how much people use
online
on the mobile.
Yes, although what it sounds like, what Helen is saying, I think they've got the mobile thing, but they've also got, it could just be used on the web.
Yeah.
I think it's they want to provide options across all platforms.
I think the vision that we wanted to make work was that effectively you would sign up to it as if you were signing up to a MailChimp list. But then at the bottom of every, and then only moderators of the group can actually send out an email to everybody. It's not clogging up your inbox with everybody sending emails to everybody like a sort of uncontrolled email group.
Sure.
But at the bottom of every email there's a click-through, which means that you can click through to discuss further. So if you want to apply or enter into a discussion about it, it's sort of very lined up with the mailing list.
Right.
So really for most people it would be a mailing list, but for those who want to discuss more and really have lots of opinions or want to get some goals and so on, they can kind of click through and discuss more. The other thing is it's extremely easy to set up multiple groups. So you have an organising group, a members group, if you like, of volunteers, and also maybe a sign up to hear about what's going on group as well. So in other words, there would be different levels of communication depending on how involved you are in the organisation.
Right,
so whether you're a volunteer, whether you're an organiser, whether you're just an interested party.
Right, and this is your startup has created, and this is a for-profit thing. You're hoping to set.
It's for-profit.
Yes.
Yes, but we're not charging anybody for use. What we would like to do is to there's a few ways in which we might monetize this.
Right.
We may well create standalone apps councils, for instance.
Right.
And that's what we're talking to Harrow
But so it's particularly targeted at the third sector where privacy concerns are paramount.
Yes, but not just the third sector. So for instance, in the context of Harrow, you would have as many voluntary groups and so on there as possible. But also you might have, discussions about council policy. You might have discussions about council services.
Sure.
You might have and then you might also have sports clubs and any kind of clubs and societies on there. So it's really an integrated place to all the local interests that you've got.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, thank you for describing it to us. I mean, I think it's well, I guess I shouldn't say. I'm hopeful we'll be seeing more of you if we can get some students working on the Horshall Snow Angels, if that's the right word, you know, app for you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. I mean, it would be nice to see a demo of the app at some point. But if you're generally closer to makers, maybe that's something we can combine. You know, if you're in next week or something, and you can come by and show me the app.
I've got it on the screen if you want to take a really quick look, but I don't know quite how to share the screen.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't work because I mean I think I've you know there was the PDF that you shared that we've all looked through, and I think we've got the basic idea, and I think it would, you know, obviously for Voluntary Action Harrow Cooperative they can think it over. I'd be interested in talking with you more about it, but maybe next week. I think I've got not so much more time left now, and I want to sit down with Jit here and sort of help him get set up for developing on the the Harrow Community Network side. But yes, it sounds like a very interesting project.
Well, I mean, there's this, you know, I'd love to work with you guys if there's any opportunity to do so. So just shout, and you know,
sure,
that would be great, and we can throw as much time to it as you need.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to find out from your tech guys what stack you've used, and I mean, but I presume you've gone with a sort of well, again, whether it's closed or open source or what the technology stack. But maybe you can put me in touch with one of your technical guys, and I can.
I'll give you a little. I really should know this stuff by heart, so.
Yeah, well, no rush. I mean, we can sort of connect that up next week. Yeah,
okay,
good show.
Great. Really nice to communicate with you. And shall I drop off?
Yeah, yes. I guess I'm imagining from what we're discussing, you're probably not going to be so interested in me telling Jit about how to set up for developments on this website. So yes, unless you're desperate to stick around for that, then yeah, maybe we'll catch up with you next week.
Unless you think I'm useful, but thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Helen. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.
And yeah, so I think we've chatted about all things on and on.
Yeah.
Work with Jit for a bit.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay. Great. There we go.